Hi everybody, Barbara's Den back with another video. Today I want to talk about Claudia Jordan. I just finished watching Fox Soul Claudia Jordan. And I don't really watch her, but I guess she just popped up on the TV and I watched it. And she said something about Phadrea. Now, once you say something about somebody that I see is gonna be what she called messy. Now I gotta hear what she gotta say. No, she came on about Tory Lanez, and I want to hear what he had to say about Tory Lanez because they wasn't taking it serious with him shooting Meg the first time. At least I don't think so. So after I finished watching the part about Tory Lanez to see what they had to say, she throw in a little dig. She throw in a dig at Phadrea. I'm like, okay. I don't even know why she hates Phadrea. I don't know why she hates Phadrea. I think she hates everybody. She hates Portia. She hates Nene. She don't really had a relationship with Candy. The only friend she had was Kenya, and that way he stayed at. That's why she was fired the next season or whatever. But anyway, she threw a dig at Phadrea. I'm like, huh, okay. And her little dig was Phadrea dated her ex. I forgot exactly what she said. But anyway, the next she said we going to a break and we be back. When she come back with the break, let's see. She came back with the break. She was talking about Giselle Bryant. Now, in her first question, instead of she talking about Giselle, she goes cocktails with Queen. She goes into this continue just dig at Phadrea. And she actually asked this woman about Phadrea dating, because she was mentioned before that Phadrea dated Mr. Chocolate, Mr. Chocolate, whatever he was. She would throw that dig in there once before I caught it, but they weren't really gonna talk about it until now. But now she asking Giselle Bryant and tells her spill. I guess she trying to have her moment. I call it a moment. I think she did it. But anyway, I think it's a moment. She tried to get her moment. Oh, she said that everybody could tell their story. I think it was in the one before that one. Everybody could tell their story about what happened to them as far as protecting black men. And Selena, I think, tell her story about a relationship she was in years ago. You know, she didn't say who the guy was or nothing, but they was in the hood. It's called domestic violence, but in the hood it's just called fighting. And so she would fight the man, but she wouldn't tell none of her family, his family, trying to protect her. They didn't want him to think bad of him. So she said they fought one day, and she ran next door to her, to the girl house next door. She went there. The girl next door is in the same situation. She fighting with her dude. So she say, within all of that, she's in no relationship, all the women around her is basically in the same predicament. And I think that was Selena. Then that opened the door for Claudia to give her experience. And her experience was to bring out the fact that almost 5 years ago, Phadrea's boyfriend, now on boot camp, she could tell him to Google it, because she wouldn't tell him who it was. And then that lady trying to Google it, she could not find out who in the world she was talking about. And she said, well, it's Phadrea, it's Phadrea dating my ex and they're on boot camp. He should have told her that to start with. But anyway, she says this man picks her up body slams her on the toilet commode, breaks the toilet commode, and water goes everywhere. And she said she didn't call the police or nothing. She just went in the bed and stayed in the bed for however many days. And I can relate to that because I have an older sister that got into her and her. They had this cheating thing between them, and they end up getting in a fight. And I end up getting caught in the middle of. I'm a little sister caught in the middle of this almost 400-pound man. And my sister, she went 20-something days fighting and carrying on. Because I was just there and they was supposed to take me home. I just live across the street, a little first house over from them with my mama. So they got my sister said it was her fault, this and that. Well, he pissed me off. So anyway, they got in a little argument. They didn't argue in front of me. Well, she said she could. He didn't. Who was gonna take me home? What the issue was. So when she said, "Well, I'll take her home," she goes to take me home. No, I'll take her home. He could take me home. I'm standing there looking at these two. I'm like, okay. So they're arguing or whatever. So she said, "It'll take me home." So I don't know what happened, but they ended up getting into some tussle over. I'm standing in some tussle over me, and I guess he hit her, and she went down or what? I guess she hit her. She went and sit down. So he takes me home across the street, a little further to my house. But the thing, what happened was when she went to take me, he missing just hitting me some kind of way. I'm mad because he hit my sister. So when I go home, I tell my mama he hit me. Let's see. I tell my mama he hit me. They don't think until he hit me. So my mama like, what? My mama went and got her gun, went over there, say, now you, and I'll get into it. That one thing. She said, well, you ain't gonna be putting your hand on that one. He said, well, I didn't hit her. She said, you said you hit her. He said, well, I didn't know I hit her. Man, my mom went on her gun. I was like, anytime we get in a situation, we tell mom, we tell daddy, mama coming with the gun. She done it several times. We tell daddy coming with the gun. When it's a man, daddy coming with the gun. But it was my, so I ain't want my daddy and my brother-in-law to get into it. So I tell my mama, because I know my mama crazy. But anyway, so I can relate to the situation with Claudia because I seen it happen to my sister. She never told, never police, never nothing. So I can relate to that. But anyway, he asked me, did he hit me? I said, yeah, you hit me. I said, when you shove or hit my sister, your hand missing hit me. He said, but I didn't mean to hit you. I said, I know. I just mad because you put your hand on my sister. But anyway, that their business, they still together. He died some years ago, about 24 years ago. And they never left each other, never called police, never nothing. So that's what black community do. Me? I ain't come in this world for nobody put no hands on me. So, at the first time, I get slapped by my husband. Okay, that's the only one you gonna get. The second slap, 911. Police were here. He ain't handcuffed, but because he got this big old broad, hunky shoulders, they had to handcuff him in the front. Because they couldn't handcuff him in the back. And he looking at me. I looking at him, I said, police looking at me. 2 police looking at him, went to jail. Judge called me the next day. No, I wouldn't answer the phone when I know open the judge. So I wouldn't answer the phone. I said, he gonna stay at least 3 days up in there. So the third day they called me and I answered the phone. I said this and that. So we went to court, had to pay a lawyer, pay all those court fees and all of that and whatever. Police come get his junk and he dragged his junk out of the house and went to his mom and dad's house. So that was that. I think his mama went on. That happened the time his mama died. So he went home with his daddy. He stayed there about a couple of years or so, and then he come back. And I tell the people, I say, it ain't like he just beats me. I say, because he just need to learn he don't put his hands on me. He didn't put his hand on me since. And that was like, his mama died about 10 years. So, he put his hands on me since. Cause you got to stop that stuff at the beginning. You can't let a man get used to putting bricks on. I didn't come in the world to fight to the end like my mom and dad used to. Jeez, we grew up in a house where they fought like crazy people, shooting at each other. But we was always in our room just hearing that noise. He's shooting in the refrigerator. He's shooting on the bed. I come out of the womb, get thrown in the fire because my dad, I'm like 2 weeks old, give me my baby, coming out, snatching me from my mom, and I end up in the fire and got my arm burned. That's just how we grew up. But as I come adult, I wasn't going through that. And I don't. But anyway, I relate to Claudia. But now with Claudia, I said Claudia trying to get a viral moment on her with Phadrea. I don't know what she's trying to do, but she's trying to get that viral moment because I see it. So she throw digs at Phadrea about how this man did all this and that to her. Then she asks Giselle about didn't Phadrea said Phadrea dated her husband, Jamal. And she's like, I like the fact that Giselle shut Claudia Jordan down. She shut it down. She said no. She said, if that was the case, and Claudia asked her these questions, and the woman ended up saying, yeah, she said no. She said, me and Jamal divorced 12 years ago. They had something 2 years ago. And she said, if Phadrea dated him, she said it had to been between 12 years and 2 years ago. She said, so he was her ex. And she said he was her ex. Therefore, there were no blurred lines in there with them. He was her ex. They weren't together. She shut Claudia down. I like that. Why you want to go out there, like she said, and then, like I said, he was her ex, so she making sure Claudia don't put that out there. Because she could put that, all that does is annoy me when you don't tell the truth. So,